Alright, so basically, I wanted to make this. I used to make these all the time, but I used to make these when I didn't feel like a status was enough, which in this instance, I feel like a status isn't enough. So basically, I just want to discuss. I follow a lot of people on social media, and a lot of that is because I like to people watch. I just kind of like to take their experiences and input them into my life at certain times, and help with my own endeavors, and just use what I've learned from them in life. It's a wonderful thing to do. Try to help as many people as possible because you learn a lot yourself. Um, but essentially, I wanted to discuss how people have been coping with getting out of relationships and how poorly they've been transitioning into new ones. I have dealt with a massive amount of people who got out of relationships, boys and girls, not gender roles, anything. If we start with some feminism bullshit, I will flip the fuck out. Boys and girls. Okay. Okay. Um, Getting approval from the imaginary feminist over there. And the meninists, how they say that? I don't even fucking know. I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, people, 3 days out of the relationship, try to talk to somebody else. And basically, our generation is the first generation to ever have to deal with something like this because of social media. Um, People will break up and they'll post a selfie the next day with like some crazy filter from the side, that perfect profile that gets you just right. And they'll post like this big ass quote or song lyric or something, and they'll get like 100 likes on it. Never me, because apparently I'm a fucking loser. But they will, and it makes them feel so good, and it's nothing. These compliments on social media do not mean a fucking thing. They're empty, they're void of all meaning, they have no purpose, they're sexually driven, text inputted fucking mounds of bullshit that mean nothing. And the sooner you realize that, the healthier you will be as a person. Because these people are taking these compliments, they're taking these Facebook messages, they're taking these tweets with more value than they're taking someone who's been there for them for 2 years. 2 years they could be there for them, and they'll shower them in compliments, and it doesn't mean as much as some guy who they had a crush on in high school who never looked at him twice before, but now they're on Facebook and they found him, and it's been so much time since they last talked, and now he's saying how cute I am, and he's coming back and liked my photo from 2 years ago, so obviously he's interested, because he's going back and looking at my shit. No, shut the fuck up. It means nothing. That guys too do the same shit. Yo, bro, you remember that real popular hot chick, man, that used to never talk to me? Well, now she's like talking about maybe hanging out sometime, and I don't know. I've been unhappy with Ashley lately, so. You're a fuck. But our generation is the first one to deal with this. This social media thing is causing tons of fucking issues. And a big problem is the reason that people start getting talked to in that manner is because they take all the blame. People hate to be victimized during the moment of the victimization, but they love to use it later in advantageous ways. They love using that as a tool to get these empty compliments, to get these empty reassurances from essentially strangers. For no reason, just for a self-esteem boost for 10 minutes when they have someone who's willing to. Regardless, I will be the first to tell you that I unfortunately am guilty of this. I have taken things that I have done and kind of brushed them aside and always kind of made me seem like the good guy in the end. People always do that. They love to make themselves seem like the good guy, even when they do shitty things. Like, yeah, I cheated on Derek, but he's just been being a dick the past 6 months. He doesn't show affection. Then break up. Don't cheat. Just break up then. I mean, if you really feel the need to do that badly, then break up. And guys will do the same shit. Yeah, I wasn't that affectionate to Brittany, but bro, I mean, she's fucking crazy, and she never lets me hang out with my friends. Fix your problems instead of adding more, because you know you're gonna go back to them. You always do the first time. And then it's going to be awkward and you'll never be healthy again. Like, you have ruined it. You've ruined it. And you've made the next 6 months of your life hell because you don't want to accept that you've ruined it. And these methods that people are using to get over old relationships by being showered in pseudo attempts, it's all sexually driven. I'm sorry. And some people actually do want to be with you, but they don't know you like that other person knows you. They don't. Give yourself time to heal. Stay the fuck off the internet. Be a person and naturally cope with the emotions that come with losing someone that's close to you. You don't need this constant reassurance. You don't need to hop on Tinder the next day. You just don't need to do it. It's not necessary. People didn't have this shit before, and they made it. You can too. I promise. So jumping in at how people are dating now, the transition from the coping, after they've been through this traumatic experience, it's like people are using sadness as a trend now. They're using it as a fad. They're pretending to be sad all the time to cope in with what their makeup looks like, what their clothes look like, what music they listen to, what people they hang out with. Depression isn't a trend. It's not a fad. Why is it being glorified? It's an extreme mental illness that millions suffer from that causes several thousand suicides a year. It happens up here. It's tormenting. It's nothing to be made into a style. It's not. That's repulsive, and you should be disgusted with yourself if you pretend to have depression because it fits in what's currently trending on Twitter. Go fuck yourself. You're horrible. Regardless, people are doing this, and it's upsetting. When I'm happy, I'm happy. When I'm sad, I'm sad. When I'm mad, I'm mad. It's whatever. But you just don't need to use that, and because basically what you'll find in these stages are the changers. Now, the changers will swoop in, and they love... These people need to be busy constantly, so their head has to constantly be on a new project, and often that new project is you. They love to have to fix people. They love to turn you around and say that they made you happy again. The only problem is the person that they're going to be falling in love with isn't you. You're never who you are when you're sad. You're never who you are when you're breaking up with someone or getting over a breakup. That's not you. You're you when you're happy. And they're going to either, even your preferences change. Your food preferences change. You can't eat at certain places you guys used to eat at. Your music changes. I mean, your movies change. You can't watch certain movies anymore for a while. It's crazy. They're going to fall in love with the wrong person. And 6 months down the line, when you turn into a different one and they want to bail because you're not anywhere close to what you were, you can't blame them. You're not giving yourselves enough time because you have too many options online. The options are endless, and it sucks. I want to go back to coffee houses and asking for phone numbers and going on real dates and avoiding this bullshit with DMs and "He slid into my DMs, man." That's fucking stupid. Stop doing that. Stop saying that. It's fucking stupid. That's beside the point. And so eventually you get in this, it's habitual to be sad for you, and you become broken because no one will want to date you anymore, but you're doing it to yourself. No one wants to be around someone that's sad all the time. And someone will say, well, that's shallow, man, if they're depressed. No, they're not depressed, though. It's a style. You can tell. You can tell. And it was even worse where people are dating now, how they're going about it. This is happening all the time now, and it drives me nuts. When people change their entire personalities to be around you, oh, I like video games now, I love the bands you like. No, you don't. No, you don't. And I don't want someone catering to my every whim to be with me. I want them to be themselves. And if I like you based off your own merits and naturally grow to like you, that's fantastic. And if I don't, I don't. But we shouldn't be together in the first place if I don't anyway. So regardless, that was never going to work out. And it's ridiculous. I mean, the way that the internet's going now with all these false compliments and messaging back and forth, the trust issues are endless because people won't realize that someone that's been there for them for years is a lot more valuable than somebody that's going to get your number off Instagram and text you and eventually ask you for nudes, because it's going to happen. And those relationships are never going to work out. We just need to stop coping with breaking up by hopping online and figuring out the first person who can compliment us in the best way, jumping into a relationship because we have so many different options and it not working out, and we just think we're the problem. I mean, and then you start sleeping around, and if you do that, you're a slut or a man whore or whatever, and then you hate yourself, and even though you're doing it now and you're young, who cares? When you marry someone, when you eventually buckle down and marry someone, which I hope everyone does because marriage is a wonderful thing if you treat it correctly, and love is just fantastic. But when you finally do that, and they ask that fateful question, because as sucky it is as it is, they're going to ask, how many people have you slept with? One, you're going to lie to them, and you're going to base your whole foundation off of a lie, or two, you're going to tell them the truth and you're just going to upset them because you were an adult at the time. Anyone over the age of 18 is an adult. and they know what they're doing. And you're choosing to sleep with all these people who shower you in compliments. It's just frustrating. I wish more people would take it old school, make relationships matter, make all relationships matter, including friendships. It's so easy to have single-serving friendships that are just temporary because of social media too, and people are being friends with who's popular, who has the most followers, just so they can get into that crowd. I don't even have words for you. People care so much about their image online, these personas that they've created, that they've forgotten the people around them.